It's a miracle they're still alive. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 hardest to kill cartoon characters.
Pleased to meet you.
Actually, we've met once before.
What?
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at those cartoon characters who are either impervious to damage, manage to avoid it, receive a huge amount of injuries but still don't die, or else die repeatedly with little consequences. We'll be excluding anime characters like Goku from the Dragon Ball franchise, or superheroes like Superman, since their powers give them an unfair advantage. Number 10. Peter Griffin, Family Guy.
Peter, sweetheart, how do you feel?
Had better days, Lois.
The protagonist of the show and the Griffin family patriarch, Peter Griffin has received a huge amount of punishment over the years.
Okay, go! Ow, 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 ow.
The dopey and reckless man engages in plenty of dangerous behavior that has seen him have a stroke, his spine distended, die repeatedly, get into epic battles with a giant chicken, not to mention his repeated knee injuries.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Peter's ability to survive such punishments can mostly be attributed to the fact that most of Family Guy's events revert to the status quo, though he does demonstrate unexpected skill in a fight. Number 9. Brock Samson, The Venture Brothers.
O God the Lord, the strength of my salvation, thou hast covered my head in the day of battle.
The Venture family's hyper-macho bodyguard Brock Samson is more than just a protector to the danger-prone clan.
Hello, Brock. Was wondering when you'd show up.
He's also a veritable one-man army. Possessing outlandish skill in hand-to-hand combat, and even dismissing guns as being too girly, Brock regularly takes on hordes of henchmen, monsters, and skilled assassins with ease. He also displays impressive endurance, as he's able to survive things like being filled with tranquilizer darts, a robot's head being lodged in his chest, and even the vacuum of space. Only the most skilled or powerful people in his fictional world can even prove a challenge to Brock, and considering what he's up against, that's saying something.
You get the boys. I'll take care of these guys.
Are you sure? There's an awful lot of them.
They hit me with a truck.
Number 8. Carl Brutananadilewski, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
This is a big deal! It's a very big deal! What is this?
While many characters from this series, including the titular trio of food products, might be worthy of mention for this list, we have to give credit to their neighbor Carl.
Oh, my hip!
A bad-tempered schlub of a man, Carl is not on our list for any particular ability to stave off death. Rather, the opposite, in fact. The perennially unlucky guy dies dozens of times over the course of Aqua Teen's run, and almost always in a graphically violent and painful way, including being eaten alive, crushed, frozen, shot, and a host of others. We doubt Carl has any memory of these, otherwise he'd have moved away.
I'm not gonna get humped by a giant red gorilla in space, okay? No thank you.
Number 7. Hans Moleman, The Simpsons.
Excuse me, I'd like to request $17 for a push broom rebristling.
Springfield has a number of durable residents, but one of the more surprisingly resilient is Hans Moleman.
Oh, rats.
A feeble, nearsighted, and possibly elderly man, Moleman receives a variety of awful and seemingly fatal injuries over the course of the series. Whether he's being forced off the road, blown up, being set on fire, suffocated, getting his skull mutilated by a power drill,
Oh no, my brains.
executed at the local jail, or just hit in the groin by a football, Moleman can take it all, and reappear unscathed. What is sad sack though?
Why, it's that delightful TV leprechaun.
Number 6. Jack, Samurai Jack. The title samurai who adopts the nickname Jack, this warrior is thrown into the future by his nemesis, the evil Aku. Although Aku is rather powerful and proves incredibly difficult to vanquish, Jack is no slouch either. The hero manages to defeat every bounty hunter, robot, and other foe his archenemy has thrown at him in a world already ruled by Aqua, using almost nothing but his magic sword and his formidable skills in personal combat. As a man out of time, Jack doesn't age, but he still manages to endure decades of this kind of constant combat without being killed. Number 5. Rick Sanchez, Rick and Morty.
All right, Mr. Comedy Man, you don't have to bust my balls, you're not helping things.
The misanthropic genius scientist who makes up one half of the titular duo. Rick Sanchez might be a grouchy, amoral alcoholic, but his brilliance is such that he's basically invincible. Rick may not always have a plan and he's rarely sober, but even when he's impaired or improvising, he's able to outwit or kill alien supervillains, galactic governments, and even alternate versions of himself.
What the hell, Grandpa Rick?
Sorry, Summer.
As he's constantly proven though, Rick is most dangerous to himself and his self-destructive behavior could very well be his only weakness.
Part of me wanted to, Toxic Morty. Part of me really wanted to.
Number 4. Waspinator, Beast Wars, Transformers. The Transformers franchise has seen many characters resurrect multiple times, like the heroic Optimus Prime or the treacherous Starscream. However, if there's one Transformer who's absolutely unkillable, it's the incredibly unfortunate Waspinator. A wasp transforming scout or a grunt in the Predacon faction, Waspinator may be lacking in intelligence and skills, but his endurance is otherworldly.
Waspinator just lie here and suffer.
The poor bot can't seem to catch a break, as he's constantly destroyed and rebuilt throughout the show's run, to the point where it's a running gag. The universe may seem to be out to get Waspinator, but his suffering only makes him more endearing.
I love that guy.
Number 3. Tom and Jerry, Tom and Jerry franchise. A cat and mouse perennially engaged in a game of, well, you know, Tom and Jerry are both worthy of a shared spot on our list. Tom, as the pursuer, frequently receives outrageous cartoon punishments and injuries for his attempts to catch and eat Jerry. Jerry, meanwhile, proves supernaturally elusive to Tom, able to elude, fight, or luck his way out of many sticky situations. Together, they each embody our criteria well, even if neither quite stands out enough to put them in our top 2. Number 2. Kenny McCormick, South Park.
I'm tired, guys. Think I'm gonna go to bed.
An 8-year-old boy almost always ensconced within an orange parka, Kenny McCormick has probably died more than all the other entries on our list combined.
The family's entitled to the rest of this.
What, Kenny? He dies all the time!
A running gag especially prominent in the early seasons of South Park saw Kenny die every episode, usually in a needlessly violent way.
Oh my god, we killed Kenny.
We killed Kenny?
We killed Kenny, we're bastards.
Although this has been phased out over time, Kenny still dies every now and again, and returns completely fine the next episode. One major storyline reveals that every time Kenny dies, he is literally reborn the next day, making him essentially immortal, possibly because of Cthulhu.
Nobody even remembers me dying. I go to school the next day, and everyone is just like, oh, hey, Kenny. Even if they had seen me get decapitated with their own eyes.
Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Oh, hold on. I have another call. It was someone trying to fax me.
Since I started working at ISIS, I've been shot, stabbed, set on fire, poisoned, shot, sexually assaulted, partially chewed, shot, and declared legally dead. Twice on the same day.
Number 1. Roadrunner, the Looney Tunes franchise. Although Wile E. Coyote's resilience is impressive too, we don't know how he survives everything he goes through. We had to give our top spot to his elusive prey, Roadrunner. A fleet-footed bird of few words, the Roadrunner, despite the countless dangerous gadgets and clever tricks tried by Wily, always manages to escape. While you could chalk up his getting away to his pursuers' incompetence, you'd think that after all the things Wily has tried, at least one of them would have worked by now. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.